Imagine you're standing in the middle of the desert. Sand stretches endlessly in every direction, the heat shimmers off dunes, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing, except silence and scorching sun. Now blink. Suddenly, you're surrounded by the tallest building on Earth, artificial islands shaped like palm trees, and indoor ski slopes in 120-degree weather. This isn't science fiction. This is Dubai. And here's what they don't want you to know. Dubai has almost no oil. Never really did. So how did a patch of sand with virtually no natural resources become richer than nations that have been established for centuries? The answer is going to make you see every luxury Instagram post from Dubai very differently. Because what built this glittering city wasn't oil. It was something far more controversial, far more secretive, and operating right now as you watch this. Most people believe Dubai got rich from oil like its neighbours. That's exactly what they want you to think. The truth? Dubai's oil reserves are tiny, less than 5% of what Abu Dhabi has. While Saudi Arabia and Kuwait were swimming in black gold, Dubai was staring at empty desert, knowing their small oil supply would run dry within decades. And it did. By 2010, Dubai's oil was essentially gone. Yet somehow, in those same years, Dubai exploded into one of the wealthiest cities on the planet. The math doesn't add up, unless you understand what Dubai actually became. Not an oil economy, a service economy. And the services they provide? Let's just say they're not all listed in the tourism brochures. The foundation when Dubai had nothing. Let's go back to 1966. The exact date is June 7th. A plane touches down in what's barely an airport, more like a strip of flattened sand. On that plane is Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, Dubai's ruler, returning from London. He's just secured a massive loan that most financial advisors called insane. He's about to build the region's largest man-made port in a city with barely 100,000 people and almost no infrastructure. Everyone thinks he's destroying Dubai's future. He's actually creating it. Sheikh Rashid understood something fundamental. If you don't have resources, you become the place where resources pass through. You become the middleman. The port he built, Port Rashid, opened in 1972, and it transformed everything. But here's what's fascinating. He didn't just build a port for legitimate trade. He built it with intentionally loose regulations, minimal oversight, and a geographic position that made it the perfect stopover between East and West, between legal and illegal, between documented and undocumented. Within 5 years, Port Rashid was handling more cargo than any port in the region. Ships from India, Pakistan, Iran, East Africa, and Europe all stopped in Dubai, and nobody asked too many questions about what was on those ships. This wasn't an accident. This was strategy. Sheikh Rashid created what economists call a free port system, a place where goods could be stored, repackaged, and reshipped without technically entering the country, which meant no taxes, no tariffs, and very importantly, no records. The gold that isn't really gold. Here's where things get interesting. Starting in the 1970s, Dubai became the world's largest re-exporter of gold. Not gold they mined. Remember, they have no significant natural resources. Gold that came from elsewhere sat in Dubai for a bit, then left for somewhere else. In 2013 alone, Dubai imported over 2,000 metric tons of gold. That's $43 billion worth. But here's the thing. Almost none of it stayed in Dubai. It was re-exported, mostly to India, within weeks. Why does this matter? Because India has massive import taxes on gold, sometimes 30% or more. But there's a loophole. If you smuggle gold into India, you avoid those taxes completely. And the easiest way to smuggle gold? Bring it through Dubai first, where it gets cleaned in the system. A bar of gold mined in South Africa flies to Dubai with full documentation. In Dubai, it gets melted down, recast, and loses its origin story. Then it gets on a small boat or a private plane to India with no official paperwork. The Indian smuggler sells it for massive profit, and Dubai takes its cut just for being the stopover. This isn't speculation. A 2015 report by Global Financial Integrity found that between 2014 and 2016, India reported importing 683 tons of gold from Dubai. But Dubai only reported exporting 349 tons to India. That's a 334-ton difference. That missing gold, worth over $13 billion, simply vanished from the official record. It didn't vanish in reality. It was smuggled, and Dubai was the launch pad. The best part for Dubai? They're not technically doing anything illegal. The gold enters legally, sits in legal warehouses, and leaves on legal planes. What happens after it leaves isn't their problem. This model, being the legal middle step in an illegal process, becomes Dubai's entire economic philosophy. The real estate scheme. Nobody talks about now, let's talk about those iconic buildings. The Burj Khalifa, the Palm Jumeirah, the World Islands. Everyone thinks these are symbols of wealth. They are, but not the way you think. These projects aren't designed to be profitable on their own. Many of them lose money. The Palm Jumeirah cost $12 billion to build and has never turned a meaningful profit. So why build it? Because real estate in Dubai serves a completely different function. It's a washing machine for dirty money. Here's how it works. Let's say you're a corrupt politician in Africa, or a drug trafficker in South America, or a businessman in Russia who earned money through questionable means. You have millions in cash that you can't explain. You need to make that money look legitimate. Dubai offers you a solution. You take your cash, or more likely your untraceable cryptocurrency, or your wire transfer from a shell company, and you buy a luxury apartment in downtown Dubai. The purchase is simple. Dubai doesn't ask where your money came from. They don't verify your source of funds. They don't report the transaction to international authorities. You don't even need to be physically present. Your lawyer can do the whole thing remotely. And here's the crucial part. You can buy the property through an offshore company, which means your name never appears on any document. The property is owned by Seashell Holdings Limited, registered in the British Virgin Islands, and nobody knows you're behind it. A year later, you sell the property. Maybe you make a small profit, maybe a small loss. Doesn't matter. What matters is that now your money is clean. You didn't earn money through corruption or crime. You earned it through a legitimate real estate transaction in Dubai. You have receipts, legal documents, and a perfectly explainable source of wealth. Your dirty cash just became clean money, and you paid Dubai a premium for the service. This happens thousands of times every year. A Carnegie Endowment investigation in 2020 found that nearly 40% of real estate transactions in Dubai involve suspicious ownership structures designed to hide the true buyer. In 2020 alone, our foreign investors bought over $30 billion worth of Dubai real estate. How much of that was money laundering? Impossible to know exactly, but experts estimate between 20 and 40%. The free zones, countries within a country. But Dubai's real genius move was creating free zones. As of 2024, Dubai has over 30 of them. The Jebel Ali Free Zone, Dubai International Financial Centre, Dubai Multi-Commodities Centre. Each one is essentially a separate economic jurisdiction with its own rules. And those rules are designed for one purpose: financial opacity. In a Dubai free zone, you can set up a company in 48 hours. You don't need local partners. You don't pay corporate taxes. You can repatriate 100% of your profits. And most importantly, you face almost no transparency requirements. You don't have to disclose who owns your company. You don't have to file public accounts. You don't have to report your transactions to authorities. You exist in a legal grey zone where normal international financial regulations don't apply. This makes Dubai free zones perfect for shell companies. A shell company is a business that exists on paper, but doesn't actually do anything. It's just a legal entity used to move money around. If you want to hide money, evade taxes, or make illegal transactions look legal, you set up a shell company in a Dubai free zone. According to the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, thousands of shell companies registered in Dubai have been linked to corruption cases, sanctions evasion, and money laundering operations across 6 continents. Let me give you one example. In 2021, the Pandora Papers investigation exposed how King Abdullah II of Jordan secretly purchased 14 luxury properties in the UK and US worth over $100 million. How did he hide these purchases? Through shell companies registered in Dubai's free zones. The money flowed from Jordan to Dubai, got shuffled through multiple companies with vague names, then emerged in London and California as clean investment capital. Dubai was the essential middle step that made the whole scheme possible, and Jordan's king is just one case. The Pandora Papers revealed that political leaders from Kenya, Ukraine, Ecuador, and dozens of other nations use the exact same Dubai structure to hide wealth. Arms dealers use it, drug cartels use it, oligarchs use it. Anyone who needs to move questionable money uses Dubai, because Dubai built its entire system to facilitate exactly this. The Hawala network, banking without banks. But there's an even older, even less visible system operating in Dubai, Hawala. This is an informal money transfer network that's existed in the Middle East and South Asia for centuries. It works on trust rather than documentation. Here's a simple version. You give cash to a Hawala dealer in Dubai. He contacts his associate in Pakistan or India or Somalia. That associate gives the equivalent amount of cash to your recipient. No banks involved, no wire transfers, no paper trail. Just 2 phone calls and a network of trust. Why does this matter? Because Hawala moves billions of dollars through Dubai every year, and none of it appears in any official record. Terrorists have used it to finance operations. Criminal organizations use it to move drug money. Tax evaders use it to shift wealth between countries. And it all flows through Dubai because Dubai has the largest, most sophisticated Hawala network in the world. The Dubai government officially discourages Hawala and has regulations against unlicensed money transfer. But enforcement is minimal. Why? Because Hawala is deeply embedded in the cultural and economic fabric of Dubai's massive South Asian expat community. Millions of low-wage workers from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and the Philippines work in Dubai and send money home to their families. Hawala is often cheaper and faster than banks. Shutting it down would be culturally insensitive and economically disruptive. So it continues, and while most Hawala transactions are innocent, the system provides perfect cover for the illegal ones. A 2018 report by the Financial Action Task Force found that Dubai's Hawala networks were being used to evade international sanctions on Iran. Iranian businesses and government entities, blocked from the global banking system, simply used Hawala dealers in Dubai to move money in and out of Iran. Officially, Dubai follows international sanctions. Unofficially, billions flow through their Hawala networks, and nobody can prove anything because there are no records. The luxury goods loophole walk through Dubai Mall, one of the largest shopping centres on earth, and you'll see stores for every luxury brand imaginable. Rolex, Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and they're always busy. Dubai has more luxury car dealerships per capita than anywhere on earth. But here's the question nobody asks. Who's buying all this stuff? Tourists buy some of it, sure, but the real customers are people using luxury goods as a money transfer system. Here's how it works. You have $500,000 in cash from illegal activity. You can't wire it internationally without raising red flags. So instead, you go to a luxury car dealer in Dubai and buy a Lamborghini with cash. No questions asked. Then you ship that Lamborghini to yourself in London or New York or Moscow. When it arrives, you sell it, maybe for $450,000 because used cars depreciate. You just lost $50,000, but you successfully moved $450,000 in dirty money across international borders, and now it's clean because you sold a car. You didn't transfer illegal funds. You sold personal property. This works with watches, jewellery, art, anything portable and valuable. Dubai's luxury market isn't just about conspicuous consumption. It's a money laundering service disguised as retail. The $50,000 loss you take on the resale, that's just the fee you pay for the laundering service, and it's worth it to avoid getting caught. Europol estimates that billions of euros in criminal proceeds are laundered annually through luxury goods purchases, with Dubai being one of the top 3 locations globally for this activity. The method is particularly popular with Russian oligarchs trying to move wealth out of Russia, Chinese business people evading capital controls, and Middle Eastern elites hiding assets from their governments. The crypto connection. And now, Dubai is positioning itself as a crypto paradise. In 2021, Dubai established the Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, creating one of the world's most crypto-friendly legal frameworks. Cryptocurrency exchanges are welcomed, crypto trading is legal, and there are no capital gains taxes on crypto profits. Major exchanges like Binance, Kraken and Crypto.com have set up regional headquarters in Dubai. On the surface, this sounds like forward-thinking policy. Dubai is embracing financial innovation while other countries lag behind. But look closer at why crypto criminals love Dubai. Cryptocurrency is already semi-anonymous. Transactions are recorded on blockchain, but the identities behind wallet addresses are hidden. And if you want to convert your crypto back to traditional money without anyone asking where it came from, Dubai is perfect. You can trade millions in crypto through Dubai-based exchanges, convert it to dollars or dirhams, then spend it or invest it in Dubai real estate, all with minimal oversight. A 2023 report by Chainalysis found that Dubai-based crypto addresses received over $30 billion in cryptocurrency in 2022 alone, with a significant portion showing patterns consistent with money laundering. Dirty money enters as Bitcoin, gets traded and mixed through Dubai exchanges, and emerges as clean fiat currency, ready to buy penthouses and Porsches. Dubai's crypto embrace isn't just about being tech-forward. It's about creating yet another channel for financial opacity, another way for money of questionable origin to enter their system, circulate, and emerge clean on the other side. Not why governments allow this. So here's the question you're probably asking. If all this is true, why don't international authorities shut Dubai down? Why do Western governments, who claim to fight money laundering, allow this to continue? 3 reasons. First, Dubai is strategically important. It's a stable, Western-friendly nation in a volatile region. The US has military cooperation agreements with the UAE. Britain has deep historical ties. Nobody wants to destabilize a key Middle Eastern ally over financial concerns. Second, many Western elites benefit from Dubai's system. Wealthy Americans, Europeans, and others use Dubai to reduce their tax burden and hide assets just like everyone else. Cracking down on Dubai would expose their own citizens' behavior. Third, Dubai has gotten very good at surface-level compliance. They've created regulations, signed international agreements, and established authorities that look impressive on paper. When criticized, they point to these structures and claim they're doing everything required. The fact that enforcement is minimal and loopholes are massive, well, that's harder to prove and easier to ignore. The Financial Action Task Force did place the UAE on its grey list in 2022, acknowledging serious deficiencies in anti-money laundering controls. But the consequences were minimal. No sanctions, no real pressure, just a recommendation to do better. And Dubai continues operating exactly as before. The human cost. But let's talk about what this actually means in human terms, because it's easy to discuss billions of dollars abstractly without thinking about real consequences. When a corrupt Nigerian governor steals money meant for hospitals and hides it in Dubai real estate, Nigerian children die from preventable diseases. When Mexican cartel money gets laundered through Dubai's system, it funds violence that has killed hundreds of thousands. When Russian oligarchs evade sanctions through Dubai, it undermines international efforts to stop aggression in Ukraine. When terrorist organizations use Hawala networks running through Dubai, it finances attacks that kill innocent people. Dubai's economic model isn't victimless. Every dollar laundered through their system is a dollar stolen from somewhere else, from someone else. The gleaming towers aren't just symbols of wealth, they're monuments built with stolen money, blood money, money that should have built schools, hospitals, and infrastructure in dozens of countries around the world. And then there are the workers. Those magnificent buildings weren't built by Emiratis. They were built by migrant workers from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. Men who come to Dubai with promises of decent wages and end up trapped in a kafala system that resembles indentured servitude. Their passports are confiscated. They're housed in labour camps in the desert. They work 12-hour days in deadly heat for wages far below what they were promised. Thousands have died building Dubai's skyline. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International have documented this for years, but it continues because Dubai's economic model depends on cheap, exploitable labour. So when you see those Instagram photos of influencers posing in front of the Burj Khalifa, I'll understand what you're really looking at. You're looking at a city built on financial crime and human exploitation, wrapped in a shiny package designed to make you think of luxury and innovation instead. The future, getting away with it. And here's the frustrating part. Dubai is winning. Their model is succeeding. They've diversified from the little oil they had into finance, tourism, logistics, and real estate. Their GDP has grown from $19 billion in 1990 to over $107 billion today. They've hosted world expos, attracted international corporations, and convinced millions of people that they're a legitimate global business hub rather than a sophisticated money laundering operation. Other nations are copying the model. Panama did it, the Cayman Islands do it, Singapore does a more subtle version. Create favorable tax conditions, minimize financial transparency, ask no uncomfortable questions, and position yourself as the place where money goes to hide. It works because there's infinite demand for these services. As long as there's corruption, crime, and wealth inequality in the world, there will be people who need to hide money, and there will be places willing to help them do it for a fee. Dubai just does it bigger, bolder, and more successfully than almost anywhere else. They took a desert with no resources and turned it into a global capital of financial opacity. That takes vision, strategy, and execution. It's impressive in a deeply troubling way. What you can do. So what do you do with this information? First, understand that when companies and governments talk about doing business in Dubai, this is the context. Dubai isn't just another global city, it's a place specifically designed to help people hide money and avoid accountability. Second, be skeptical of the narrative. When you see tourism campaigns or business articles praising Dubai's success story, remember what that success is actually built on. Third, support international efforts for financial transparency. Organizations like the Financial Action Task Force, Transparency International, and Global Financial Integrity are working to close the loopholes that places like Dubai exploit. They need public support and political backing. Finally, if you're in a position of influence, if you work in finance, politics, or business, refuse to participate in these systems. Don't set up shell companies in Dubai. Don't help clients hide assets there. Don't treat financial opacity as just another service. The only reason Dubai's model works is because thousands of bankers, lawyers, accountants, and business people around the world are willing to facilitate it. If enough people refused, the system would collapse. It requires mass participation to function. You don't have to participate. Coming full circle. Remember where we started? Standing in empty desert, then suddenly surrounded by impossible towers. That transformation is real. But it wasn't magic, and it wasn't oil. It was a deliberate decision to build a city-state whose primary economic function is helping other people hide money. Everything else, the tourism, the glamour, the architectural spectacles, is marketing. It's the shiny wrapper designed to distract you from what's actually happening inside. Dubai built itself by becoming the place where dirty money becomes clean, where the illegal becomes legal, where the traceable becomes invisible. They became filthy rich by helping other people hide their filthy riches. It's brilliant strategy and moral catastrophe wrapped together, a monument to human ingenuity and human corruption standing side by side in the desert sun. The next time you see that skyline, you'll know what you're really looking at, and you won't be able to unsee it. That's the burden of knowing the truth, but it's a burden worth carrying, because the first step to changing broken systems is understanding how they actually work. And now, you do. Dubai's secret isn't a secret anymore, at least not for you.